you'll get the call after someone spoke to you, and then they were kind of hemming and hawing, or we've been asking for documents, and they heard rates dropped, right? Now they want to lock it in immediately, but they haven't even done their application. Or they did it, I've been talking to them, asking them to get their documents in so we can get them underwritten, credit approved, get their appraisal ordered. We can't lock them in. We cannot do that until they get their stuff. And then sometimes there's an hour window, 4 hours. But we have so many loans in the process, and we're not the only ones. Everyone is jumping on that bandwagon. But if you wait until you hear that rate lock you love, you have to have, you want it, you don't know how long you have that time.
Right.
So, it's hard. If you wait, you may have waited too long.
Right.
And you might lose that opportunity, and then you might have to wait again.
Absolutely.
And it could be a day, 2 days, 60 days, 30 days, we don't know. So I think you're absolutely right. People have got to give us a call, get your loan in, get your information in, and be patient. And I'll tell you, in this day and age, we are really learning some patience again.
We are all learning a lot of patience. One of the questions that came in from Lori, she asked, who pushes the rate lock button, or who pushes the loan rate button, each bank, ? So when we are locking in your loan, your rate lock is based on your loan officer. Your loan officer has control of that. I've got a little switch on my finger that goes choot choot, and it locks in the rate. But I can't lock in a rate unless I have a completed application. All of the loan documents are put together. We've been submitted to underwriting. The loan is approved. We've got to make sure that you're in the process of moving forward in order to lock that rate. So it's something that has to be done. It's not something that day rates drop and your loan officer can call you and say, hurry, get your application in. There isn't enough time for that. So you definitely need to make sure that you get your paperwork started now. A lot of those clients that we did lock on March the 9th, we're just getting to the point right now where we're almost cleared to close. We're getting ready to get their loan documents out, get them funded. And that was because those people were in process with us already. We'd already started the application. We had already gathered their loan documents. The majority of the time we'd already, forwarded their loans into underwriting. And so now we're there. So it's very, very important to make sure that you get all of those pieces ready, and then we can push that button. And they're all getting ready to close, where a lot of people that called on March 15th, March 20th, just started getting the loan application started. Those interest rates were still pretty good at that point. I'm not saying that rates aren't good right now. If you have an interest rate that's over 4%, we can still get you into a really great deal. But are we going to get you at 3% or 3.25% like we were 2-3 weeks back? No. So, the ones that are waiting for those 3s and 3.25s to come back, have patience. It may not ever come back, and that is a possibility. But there's also a very good possibility, based on what we're hearing, that they will come back. And we're probably looking at 30 to 60 days out for that to happen. Other clients that are looking for cash out and they really needed to get their money, we've started their process the 15th or the 20th of March, and they're probably a 45 days out because they got in behind the herd instead of in front of the herd. So if we can get you at the front of that line, we're going to get you on that roller coaster and rolling around, on that ride you've never ridden before. You're going to get to experience it first, and you're going to get to close first. So I hope that kind of makes sense, right? Very, very important. A lot of other things that are changing right now are guidelines, and we're seeing these changes rapidly. And so that is something that I do want to touch on, and I want to make sure that you guys are all aware of. I also want everybody listening to know, number one, you can put your questions and your comments in the feed. If you're listening to us on Saturday on radio, make sure you guys are tuning in live on YouTube. That's when we record. You guys can watch us do it. You can put your questions in the feed. We're going to answer those for you. Just like Lori just asked, who pushes that rate lock button? Those are things that you guys can do with us. So make sure you go to the YouTube page, you guys subscribe to the channel, and you turn on your notifications so that you know when we go live. If you want to give us a call, you've got questions, call the office. It's not a problem, even though it's Saturday. It's 844-935-3634. That's 844-WE-LEND for you, LEND, and the number 4. And we will make sure that we get an appointment set on the calendar for you to talk with me one-on-one. So go ahead and call the office right now and get that calendar appointment, that phone consultation made. Pam says hi. So hi, Pam. Thank you so much for watching. I love that the only people that we have watching are my family. It's all right. I'm just kidding. I love it. But thank you guys so much. So anyway, so guidelines. This is a really, really big one because guidelines have changed tremendously. They're changing every single day. What we can and can't do is changing so fast that we almost can't even keep up. We're trying to keep up with those policies. Heidi, I'm going to let you pull up some of them. I know, do you have two screens going on your computer, or are you going to end up going away and we won't see you?
No, I can move it to another screen, so it might not see me for a minute, but I can get those guidelines.
Perfect, because since I'm sitting here, it's kind of hard. I do have some of them pulled up already. A couple of things that I do want to bring up, that with a conventional loan, an investment property, FICO score minimum is 720. This is a giant change. FICO score before on an investment property, so let's say that you want to go and you want to buy your first investment property, single family home, condo, 2 to 4 unit property, and you want to be an investor and you want to buy it to rent it out. We used to have the guideline as of a week ago. I think all of these guidelines actually changed March 27th. So Friday was the last day that you could have actually put in an application, locked the rate, and moved forward with a 640 credit score for an investor. We are now a 720. That is a giant difference. You know, think about the difference in how much time might it take if you've got a 640 credit score to build that credit score up now to 720. So that is one of the big changes that we're seeing, and we're seeing these changes come in rapidly. Why are we seeing these changes? Why is this happening? Well, it's fear. Nobody knows what is going to happen once this whole pandemic is over. Nobody knows, is the real estate market going to drop? Are the property values going to drop? Is everything going to get right back to normal and business as usual and we come back with a vengeance, you know, as Trump keeps saying is going to happen? Nobody knows. It's fear right now. And all of the lenders are scared. They're scared of not being able to sell that loan after they fund it, not being able to get it off of their books, investors not wanting to buy those loans because they've got clients with lower credit scores. So I don't know if you pulled up those changes, Heidi, on your screen. Awesome. So why don't you give us another one that has kind of rapidly changed?
Okay, so we've got and I'm going to go over like just some overlays that have come over, and overlays are anything above and beyond the normal Fannie Freddie guidelines. So anything that we've put into place, and we have our conventional, so investment property FICO is a 720 as minimum. So that has changed. That's increased.
Yep. So that's what I just talked about. That was a big one.
And then we've got and that was, sorry, I thought you talked about the jumbo one.
Yeah, nope, haven't even gotten into jumbo yet. Tons of changes everywhere, all over the board.
My brain's already all over the place.
It's okay.
So the government programs.
Yes. Okay, let's talk about those. Yeah, let's talk about those. That's huge.
So these are some big ones. Purchase. So cash out refinances, non-cash out refinances.
Okay, so a rate and term refinance. You're not pulling cash out of your home. You're literally just trying to lower your interest rate and get yourself into a better payment.
Correct.
Okay.
So minimum FICO score now is a 640, but your debt to income ratio cannot exceed 45%.
Okay. So to put this kind of in layman's terms, an FHA rate and term refinance previously, we could have gone down to a 580 credit score, sometimes even lower than that. You could have had a debt to income ratio of 56.9 on your back end debt ratio. They are now saying that not only do your credit score cannot exceed 640, but we cannot go over a 45% debt to income ratio. This is a giant change. And it's because they're scared. Are we going to be able to get investors to invest in that risky loan with that borrower with a lower credit score and with that borrower with a really high debt to income ratio? Are they going to make their payments? If you're only buying the home with 3.5% down payment, which is what's required on an FHA property, and you have a 580 credit score, and then in the future the property values drop, are you just going to walk away from that house? You had very, very little skin in the game. What is going to keep you in that property? What if you're pushing debt ratios to 56.9 and you lose your job? Now there is no way you're going to be able to continue to make those payments. So that's a huge change. That's a big change.
And actually, Debbie, you just brought up a good point because this is for purchase and rate and term refinance. And then the next caveat is if you are over 45% debt to income ratio, you have to be at a 680 or higher.
If your debt ratio is over 45.
Over 45,
okay.
Exactly.
Okay, all right. So those are some big changes. We did have Robert get on and say hi, moms. Hi, Robert. Thank you so much for watching. Appreciate it. Okay, so what's our next change? We've got some big ones. We have cash out. Let's talk about FHA cash out. Before all of these changes happened, in FHA cash out, again, credit scores could have been 580, sometimes even lower, just depended on the computer system. Debt to income ratio 56.9%, not a problem whatsoever. So give us the new stuff on the cash out.
Cash out minimum FICO score is a 680.
Okay.
The debt to income ratio has not changed as of right now. However, again, the system's going to determine that.
Right. So to put this in perspective, if you have to have a 680 credit score to do a cash out refinance, and your debt to income ratio has to be 45%, there's no reason to do FHA. FHA is something that, typically before, even though we had to have an 80% loan to value, we could do those lower credit scores that you could not get yourself in to a conventional loan with a Fannie Mae or a Freddie Mac. So FHA was kind of the saving grace in, we can still do this loan, we can still get you the cash that you need. Once you pay off all of your debts, you're going to be able to improve your credit score. And now, then we'll turn around and refinance you again and get you into a conventional loan to get you out of that mortgage insurance. So that was a big strategy in the past. Now, if you have a 680 credit score and a debt to income ratio of 45 and you've got a loan to value of 80, there's probably not a reason to go FHA. We're going to be looking at a lot of conventional loans at this point. So, conventional, that would be the next cash out, right? So, okay, we're not going to do FHA, now we're going to do conventional. How has conventional changed?
Hold on, let me get there.
That's okay. I'll tell them where they were before Friday, the 27th, and now and then you can tell us where they are then. So as of before Friday, the 27th, and Saturday might have been the 27th, I don't know, but it was last Friday that everything changed as far as these guidelines that we're going over right now. A conventional loan, you could get into the loan with a 620 or better credit score. A lot of times we'd still go FHA because the 620 would yield you a much higher interest rate. So once we got into 660 credit scores and above, conventional starts looking a lot more attractive. The interest rates start to improve quite a bit. There's significant adjusters to risk in a conventional loan where your credit scores are lower. But we could do a loan still conventional with a 620 credit score or better, and the debt to income ratio could go up to 49%.